2 weeks ago, I got on social media and I started asking men to send me money for breakfast. And the response is actually surprising.
And I want to say yuck to this filter because it's doing something strange to my lips, but I couldn't get it to get off of the filter. So I had to use this damn filter. And I hate it.
Men and women were responding. Some men was like, oh, so you gold digger now? So you miss sprinkle now? And I'm like, what? Over $8 breakfast? Like, what? Someone was like, girl, you need to go ahead and buy your own breakfast. I was like, that's not the point of the exercise. And this leads me to believe, like, what are women dating for? You are dating for love or you dating for stability?
I saw a young lady post this, so I reposted this because this is the thought process I had, and a lot of women have it. A man ain't never been a necessity for me. I don't date because I'm hungry, need shelter, or because I'm trying to fix someone's life. I don't date out of spite or survival. I date because I choose to. A man will always be a want, not a need, but maybe that should change. Not everyone wants to live this life alone. Some of us actually need love, help, and a partner. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's okay. Forgive me for that in my son, because we in the car right now while I do this voiceover. Even one of my closest friends, my co-host to my podcast, swears up and down that I am waiting for the perfect man and I'm gonna be alone forever if I don't quit it. She sends me this picture all of the time because she tells me I need to settle, and I'm like, no.
Now, some people don't know my story, but a lot of people do. I was the woman that was trying to stick to my child's father. We were engaged and sleeping in the back of his Ford Explorer, in and out of hotels. And that's the first time I ever lived that way with a man, because no man has ever put me in that position ever. But instead of me leaving to go stay with friends, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay with my man. And the first girl he could find to take care of him financially, he jumped on that boat and left me behind pregnant in a hotel. It was men who actually encouraged me to date him because they was like, hey, you should try a blue collar worker. So what? He makes $12 an hour. Is he good to you? Like, pay attention to his character, right? And I was like, okay. And I tried it. And the second I started needing help from him financially when I was pregnant with my son, he ran because he couldn't afford to take care of me financially.
In the latest book I wrote, I was explaining how I used to settle in the past for men. They had these issues, but instead of me judging them or having a higher standard or higher expectations for them, I actually settled real hard. So I don't want to do that now because I did that so much before.
And so now that I'm dating, now that my son is 7 and I'm getting $269 a month in child support from that Dusty, and it's garnished from his pay, it ain't like he's giving it freely. I don't want to date a broke man again. I tried to build with this man. I tried to build a business with him. Because of him, I lost multiple sources of income. And he put me in a worse situation financially and professionally. So I don't want to deal with that ever again. So I decided, hey, I'm not dating broke dudes anymore. Doesn't mean I'm not going to bring nothing to the table financially or that I want to use men for money. But that's what men are automatically thinking. Because I don't want to date a broke man ever again because of the negative experience I had, men are now mad at me for not wanting to date a man who's broke.
Broke. I was in a better position than these men was when I was dating them. Doesn't mean they're not in a better position now. Just when I was dating them, they weren't all that.
As a woman, a mother, and potential wife, I am in no position to be dating a man who isn't prepared to be a husband. And what I've noticed is a lot of men haven't even financially prepared themselves to be head of household. They don't have savings, investments, businesses, land, nothing. They just live in paycheck to paycheck. They barely getting by. So even if I was to move into a man's house, he wouldn't even be able to pay the mortgage alone, even if I chipped in for the utilities and groceries. So if I ask a man to send me money for breakfast and he can't afford $10 a day, that lets me know he has no money set to the side. Nothing for courtship, marriage, or family. So that lets me know how he's planned his future. Either he hasn't planned it at all, or nothing in his plan say that he's going to marry a woman and take care of her.
Or that man is simply not interested in me, and that's okay. That means that he's not the one for me, right?
Leading a household isn't just about finances. It takes a lot of time and energy. So as a man, you got to be prepared for that. Life gets hard for various reasons, and the last thing that you need to be worried about is how you're going to get them bills paid. You need to be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to lead a household, and you cannot do that broke. That is too hard. That is too difficult for any man. So I don't want to date a broke man again. And after my experience, not just with him, but men before him, Men I've helped them become great men. And at the end of the day, when it came time to show appreciation and to be grateful for what I did for them inside of the relationship, they fell short. I do not want to date that again. And that's okay, because I worked too hard on being a good woman myself. And the man who deserves me after I have spent 7 years being celibate and clearing my mind, body, and soul, I'm not about to break my celibacy for no Dusty. Especially not no broke one.